What's up guys, Derek here for DND. Today we're going to show you how to install a DND hub and a DND steering wheel on an E46 chassis. So the first step is you're going to make sure you want to remove your battery terminals, and what this is makes sure that you're safe when you're doing your horn wiring and your airbag wiring. So the second step is you want to remove your airbag to access the hub nut, but unlike a normal car where you would be removing screws to remove the airbag, the BMW has a spring-loaded tab. What you want to do is stick a flathead through the access hole in the back of the wheel here, and then you push this tab outward. If you can see this spring, once you push it out, it'll release the left side of the airbag, and you repeat the process for the right side and the airbag will come off. The next step is you want to remove these two plugs and then these two plugs. This is why we removed the terminals on the battery earlier. So once that's off, remove these two, and then the steering wheel should be ready to come off. One important thing to note is you keep your steering wheel straight when you remove it. That way, when you're putting on your aftermarket wheel, you can just put it on in the 12 o'clock position and you won't have to worry about your splines being off. So once you remove the nut, a good thing to do would be to thread it in a couple threads. That way, if you're pulling the steering wheel off and you get a big push, you don't hit yourself in the face with the steering wheel. And then after you get the steering wheel off, you can take the nut off, and then you've safely removed your steering wheel. So with your steering wheel removed, you'll be looking at the clock spring. There's these two rubber caps that cover these two nubs, and once you remove those, these two nubs fit inside these two recesses on our hub. So important note, you don't need to remove your clock spring with our E46 hubs. Some of our hubs you do need to remove the clock spring. That's like a chassis by chassis basis. But as you remember, we kept it in the 12 o'clock position. So you want to find your Momo bolt holes or your Nardi bolt holes, depending on what kind of steering wheel you're using, and make sure that top bolt hole is in the 12 o'clock position, and make sure your nubs are lined up with the recesses. And then at that point, you can just give it a firm shove, and then it should be seated properly. You can put your bolt back in and then reinstall your steering wheel as necessary. So I took my gloves off for this part because it's easier without gloves, but we're just putting in some titanium hardware, and as you see, this is the Nardi bolt pattern with two parallel bolt holes on top. And so all you need to do is tighten them, put them all in slightly at first, and then tighten them down in a star pattern. That way you have an even distribution on the steering wheel of the pressure up against the hub. Then you can put your horn button in. Alright, so we're all done tightening it up. We got the horn button in. This is what it looks like when it's all buttoned up, and hopefully you guys don't have any issues with your install. If you do, feel free to reach out to us, and we hope you enjoy your product.